Alya has certainly been an anime of all time, and quite polarizing to say the least. We got one camp that absolutely adores this series, myself included. I really did genuinely enjoy this one. Hell, I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. I thought Alya was definitely going to be best girl definitively, with all the artwork shown of her before the anime actually came out, and just seeing people kind of excited for it. And I've seen like some of the manga panels as well. Although all the characters, especially the female cast, has been really solid, Yuki has 100% been best girl definitively of not only this series, but arguably of the season, with the infamous, well, bed scene you got here, got a stiffy, you know, all that crazy sus shit, where she's just, yeah, absolutely a wild card for the series. And I think the voice actor has been already praised, but let's praise her again and say that, man, she did an absolutely fantastic job bringing Yuki to life. I think she's best girl, like I said, of the season and of the show, bar none. Not that Alya was bad by any means. Yeah, I could go on and on and on about how Yuki is absolutely best girl with her gremlin ass, but also with the end of the actual season, we got one of my favorite scenes with Kuze and Yuki going at each other. To be honest, I was a little bit shocked by it. Well, maybe not shocked, but a little bit surprised how much of the rivalry that is actually going on between the two. Because, well, you know, originally I thought it was just Yuki, you know, being the little gremlin fun, you know, crazy girl that she is, absolutely adoring her big brother. But deep down inside, I mean, from what I'm understanding about it, is that she wants to, like, kind of rub it in his face. Not like that, but you know what I mean. Now, I wouldn't say maybe get back at him, but just to prove that she's better than him in some way. Now, I could be absolutely wrong about that, but again, man, when she got that crazy face, I mean, like, it's just so peak, by the way. I saw some people on Twitter saying that it's pretty mid. I don't know, man. I don't think this is like the craziest best arc I've ever seen, but I certainly wasn't quite upset with what we've got, you know? I'm like somewhat actually interested in seeing how they all debate, and Kuze actually being the freaking like maniac that he is as well, you know, got that freaking you know, demonicness also in him. Same with Yuki. It's just like, damn, bro, this guy has been like, you know, pretty chill throughout the entire series, and when, well, push comes to shove, when it's like, all right, bitch, you in my territory now, really help Alya with her speech and everything. Like, he does it so just naturally and chill. It really does show like how smart he is when he actually even somewhat applies himself. You know, speaking about like the hate on this, I see a lot of it on Twitter. Now, some of it, yes, has to do with the whole incest thing. I don't really know. I guess I kind of can understand why, because Twitter's Twitter and whatnot, you know, they're upset and freaking out over, like, the Yuki incest thing, and, you know, you got other people absolutely applauding it and super hyped for it. I'm kind of like, you know what? Not that incest is, like, super, like, a big thing for me or anything when it comes to anime. I don't mind it, in a sense, you know what I mean? It's like, I've watched anime for, like, so long now that incest and, you know, just some of this degenerate shit is just part of anime. Not all of it, but it is, you know, a thing in it. So it really didn't, like, come to me at, like, oh god, you know, this ruined the damn series for me, like some people have been saying, you know? And to that, honestly, bro, honestly, maybe, you know, they're new time watchers when it comes to anime. Maybe they have only watched, like, the shonen action stuff, where they're not really used to all these things. But if you are disgusted by it, if you don't enjoy it, if you find it too weird for your own liking, you don't have to watch it. You genuinely don't. I mean, I'm not saying you have to like, you know, the incest route and all that shit. I'm not saying you have to, but if it's just too much for you, nobody's saying you have to enjoy it, have to like it. It's just, you know, let bygones be bygones in a sense. I think I'm using that phrase right. You know, just, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to, like, indulge in the series. If it isn't for you, it isn't for you. So I do see a lot of people hating on that, you know, and Yuki and whatnot, even though she is absolutely best girl. Regardless if she's the little sister or not, I don't really care necessarily what their relationship is. I'm not, like, necessarily for it. I'm not necessarily against it. I just think it's a, you know, overall good show. I have seen some people who have read the light novel, I'm assuming, because from how they're talking about in their tweets, that it goes kind of a rent-a-girlfriend arc in a sense, or kind of series, whatever the heck you want to call it, but route, I guess, where apparently, I mean, I don't know for a fact, I don't read light novels, I don't really, like, know for sure, but from what I'm seeing, which, you know, take it with a grain of salt, light novel readers probably know more than me, well, definitively know more than me because they actually read the light novel. But anyways, apparently it just gets dragged on, and some people were saying that, hey man, if it gets a season 2, people are going to see how truly terrible this anime gets. We're just going to have to see. All right, you know what? I'm not saying we're wrong because I don't know. We don't have a season 2 yet. Yeah, even though it did get announced for one, which is absolutely W. We will talk about that more in a moment. But supposedly it gets really bad. It gets absolutely terrible. And I mean, I guess we're just going to have to see. Now, as somebody who doesn't read light novels, never going to probably read at least Alya's light novel. I don't really, not that I think the anime is bad by any means, but I don't really care enough to go read it personally. We'll just have to see. I mean, from what I've seen so far in season 1, I genuinely enjoyed this shit. I thought it was fun as fuck. I thought it was goofy. And overall, man, it's one of the few, I guess you could say, anime, but I definitely finished this season. And again, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Yuki is a big part of that, man. They really, like, just brought Yuki to life. Like, she was definitely the character that just brought the most out of this show. So maybe with season 2, with more of it getting adapted, will just go downhill and be ultimately trash and go nowhere and whatnot. You know, perhaps. Per-freaking-haps. But until I see that, I'm just gonna say I enjoyed season 1. And maybe, I don't know, if they somehow magically make season 2 absolutely goated, even if the source material might not be that good. So, you know what, Twitter, not saying most people are definitively wrong, it's just that, well, we're just gonna have to see. Maybe the anime studio somehow makes the not-so-great light novel that happens in the future really good. I don't know. Anyways, I will be there for season 2 regardless. Animation-wise, really, really clean, and I have to say that the art style, this might sound kind of weird and kind of crazy, but it has this, like, kind of darker, more subdued, I don't want to say washed out, but almost in a sense washed out color palette, right? You know, a lot of browns, a lot of gray, you know, just not very vibrant-y type of colors in this series. And that might sound like a negative. That might sound like an insult. But what I'm trying to get at is that even though it does have like a more muted color palette, they did absolutely amazing with how vibrant it actually looks. Because even though, in my opinion, like I just said, it has a more muted color palette, they do absolutely amazing making everything stand out in a very bright way, in a very colorful way. You know, but I think they did absolutely fantastic with it, making it not look ultimately boring. And also, you know, Alya's face and stuff. Dude, I love when that happens. That's so freaking funny and cute. You know, I will say that's an absolute W that they did. Unlike Shikamori, where that anime, I mean, definitely has a very bright color palette, but it was so freaking, like, turned up with the brightness. I don't know the actual term for it. It goes to 150%, where it just burns your freaking eyes. I will have to give shots at Shikamori when I can, because I absolutely love the manga, but the anime was trash. But anyways, in the end, I'm assuming Alya is gonna be ending up with Kuze, which, even though I have said definitively that Yuki is best girl, I have no problems with Alya actually winning in the end. You know, not that I even, like, would be mad if it goes the incest route and Yuki wins in the end. I mean, I have no problems with that whatsoever. Alya's a good enough character, you know, good enough female lead where I'm like, you know, I am somewhat rooting for her. The moments that they have together that are special does hit the heart a little bit. You know, okay, maybe even a lot of bits. Definitely doesn't make me on the edge of tears or anything, but it's like, ooh, yeah, you know what, man? I like it, man. I like what I see between the two. Also, it's just really cute. And I don't understand, by the way, how, what is it? In this episode, I believe, where they go shopping, I'm pretty sure, where Alya is talking in Russian, right? You know, and Kuze can actually hear what she's saying because he understands Russian as well. How the hell, like, did she not, like, hear him telling Yuki that, you know, this is what she said? I don't really know, man. I don't really know. Obviously, for plot, you know, reasons and shit, but I'm thinking, if he can technically hear her, why could she not hear him? You know what? It's just a little freaking stupid complaint. Granted, that's just part of the fucking show anyway. I'm, like, just complaining because I don't know, it's just something. I'm just kind of complaining about it because I'm just like, bro, what the hell? When that really doesn't bring the quality down by any means. It's just like one of those things where it's like, bro, what the hell? I'm on the side that definitely enjoyed Alya. As somebody who didn't read the light novel, somebody who went in anime only, and not even as somebody who was like, you know, mega hyped for this series. Was like, oh yeah, this is going to be an anime of all time. Like, this is going to be in my top 10. I didn't even know of it until, like, I would say a few months or a year ago, before, you know, because I saw a little bit of it on Twitter, on the Twatters. I didn't really go in with like super high expectations thinking this was going to be like my anime of the season. It is not, by the way. But what I got from it was more of an enjoyable time, more of something that I would just say, hey man, it was a good time, but it's kind of whatever, I'm gonna forget about it, you know? It struck me with, you know, enough emotions, I guess you could say, and funny moments, and, you know, the good times that I could say that, yeah, this was definitely a very solid one, and I wouldn't mind recommending to a lot of people. And also, you know, an 8 out of 10. This anime season was already very, very solid. I think it's honestly one of the best anime seasons we've gotten in a long time. But, I mean, Alya definitely stands up with one of my favorites. Not number one, but certainly freaking solid. The other characters, Maria, you know, is good as well. She got, like, that motherly vibe to her. And some people, you know, think she's best girl. You know, the waifu wars is definitely real with this one. But if you're on the correct side of things, you would be choosing Yuki. And Season 2 getting announced, I'm pretty sure either, like, the day of or whatever of Season 1 ending. I was not expecting that, to be honest. I didn't really know how popular this series is because, I mean, like, honestly, I don't really see a whole lot of this series, you know, online unless it's, like, the controversies. I guess, you know, there's people who, you know, tweet about it and say they absolutely love it. I guess was a really popular show, but I just was kind of like, huh, yeah. I didn't realize how good it was to other people, you know, I just see the hate and whatnot, you know, the hate train. But, I mean, absolute W that it's getting a season 2. By the end of the first season, it didn't really have me at the edge of my seat, like, damn, I need more, maybe more Yuki, but it didn't make me go, oh my god, I need to see what happens in the next season. I need to see what happens with, like, the whole debate going on and, like, who obviously wins. Well, I'm sure it's going to be Alya and Kuze, you know, just kind of duh. It's more so, I wouldn't mind seeing more of Alya, Yuki, Kuze, you know, just all of them, you know, do their thing in this anime, more so than just like, oh my god, I need to know what happens in the end, if that makes sense. Although, you know, some other series, I can kind of say the opposite, where I'm like, I'm so invested in the plot that I need more seasons. You know, the plot is alright in Alya, you know, with the whole, like, you know, presidential debate thing going on. I mean, that's fine and all. I think they did a good enough job, you know, creating the tension and everything to make it not incredibly boring, but also it's not something that I am like, oh yeah, this is the best arc ever. It's more so just, hey, I like seeing the characters, you know, and, you know, seeing Yuki and Kuze battle it out. That's definitely interesting. So, Alya, even with all the hate that people are giving it, I enjoyed it. So, closing thoughts on this one, 8 out of 10 for me. Yuki, I keep saying she's best girl, bro. I will simp and stand her for the rest of freaking eternity. So, yeah, everybody, hope you all did enjoy the video, and if you would please use code illyaderebusiness for your orders, I'd really appreciate that. And I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see y'all next time.